So much to talk about. Get in here, Steel and Vance.
Oh my goodness, we have gifts. First of all, okay, we got these beautiful little wine glasses from Bunsen and Beaker in Red Deer. Thank you. Love them. Great, and they're not tippy or anything.
Fleur de Villes, as promised.
I love flowers so much at any time of the year. Christmas, yes, and they have an event coming.
They do. This is an amazing 10-day event that's happening in downtown Vancouver. Fleur de Villes, local company founders live here, but they're across the world now in multiple countries. This is crazy good.
They have 40 installations, and it's downtown along Robson Street.
Yeah.
This is the 5th year. It's free. 10 days they're doing this. Check it out. So cool.
It is so cool, and it is for everyone. I went to the one at Van Dusen Gardens with my mom and my aunt, and it was just fantastic. Speaking of going to places, oh my goodness, Brady had the best time this week. He got to go to Christine Sinclair's last game.
That was amazing. And you know I'm not a soccer fan. I'm a Christine Sinclair fan because she's the GOAT,
She's
right?
the greatest of all time, yes.
But I did tune it in because I thought it's history in the making. This is Christine Sinclair's last game at BC Place.
Yeah.
The attendance was 48,000 something. Anyway, it sounded a bit like this.
The greatest of all time, number 12, Christine Sinclair.
A little hug for Charmaine Crooks there. Just so many amazing women.
Right?
So many amazing women of sport gathered there. It was just outstanding. And then all the superstars, of course, were weighing in, sending their best to number 12.
Hi, Christine. It's Ryan Reynolds. I just want to wish you all the best, all the love, and all the luck in retirement.
Hi, Christine. It's Michael Bublé. I want to thank you for the wonderful career that you've given us.
Hey, Christine, nope, no way. I cannot possibly accept your retirement.
I'm with Adrian.
Christine, on an unbelievable career.
Okay, so you know you made a huge impact when all the big stars are coming out, you know, saying their kind of way to goes, attaboys, but primarily it's all the young girls that she inspired. We saw some of them holding up the signs. That's the next generation of Canadian
she's changed
female
the game.
Soccer stars.
She's changed the game for sure, and not just here in Canada, but worldwide. She has scored the most goals, international goals, in soccer.
Yeah.
Ever. Guys, girls.
It's huge.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, it's great.
Before we move along, just in case you think Jody and I had a fight before we came on the show, explain your red eye.
You know what? I burst a blood vessel in my eye randomly on Sunday. Nothing actually happened. I was trying to come up with a good story. I was like, maybe it was my dog's fault. I didn't want, to blame. I didn't want to blame Scout for this because he has those digger paws. But I just honestly, I looked at my lovely nanny, Lanny, my former nanny, who I'm still tight with, and she goes, Jody, what's wrong with your eye? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, it's red. So I have a superficial blood vessel that has burst, and Derek Wong says if only it was Halloween, we could have done something cyborg with.
When you look at me this way, I can't see it. You look that way, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's all red. We do have a prize, a gift card to give away this week. And this time it's courtesy of our good friends and show sponsor at ProMed Eye Health, a $150 gift card. And they have all kinds of things. They have hot and cold packs for your eyes. They have eye drops. They have vitamins for your eyes. They've got just a ton of things that you might think, oh, I don't need that. Yes, you do.
I called my optometrist when this burst, and my optometrist said, keep it hydrated, which is the ProMed Eye Health eye drops. I'm using them morning and night. So
if your eyes are uncomfortable, you might think, wow, I don't know why I just have to live like this. No, you don't.
No, you do not.
So check them out. All right.
We got a viewer email. We want to share the viewer mail.
Oh, yes. Okay. This is from Valerie in Coquitlam. She says, for a future show, she'd like us to do something on dementia. She says her mom has this. She and her sister are trying to look out for her. It's hard. They're getting burned out. They're not quite sure what to do. Both of us replied to Valerie because both of us have walked the dementia journey with a parent. And so
we're going to do it.
We will.
We'll talk through what caregivers need to look out for in themselves as well, trying to help people who are on this journey. It's very, very difficult to navigate without support. So
well, and that's the thing. As a journalist, when my mom first was diagnosed, I didn't know what to do. And you have to have a caseworker. Well, how do you get that? that.
Yeah.
And then where do you go? And then how do you get,
It's a lot.
I found it hard, so I can understand why other people do, so we're going to walk you through it.
We will. We're also going to walk you through what's coming up on Steele and Vance, because we have a jam-packed show and a very special guest.
Yes, we do. Well, so there was a lot of talk about SkyTrain expansions in Surrey and Langley and all the names that they're going to have for these future stations. So we're going to have the TransLink CEO, Kevin Quinn, in the studio to talk about everything, finances, the new ELF card, a whole bunch of stuff.
That ELF card, they better be bringing us some ELF cards, because Derek Wong and Nina Savage, they want them, they deserve them. They're going to be doing rollouts over the course of this next week, so people that are trying to secure their ELF card, fear not, it's coming. We also have Bosley's Christmas. Yes, Karima.
Love the best.
Jivraj is going to be with us to help with Christmas, the holidays for your four-legged friends.
And tips on what to watch out for, things that are dangerous.
Surprising things that are dangerous that you might not know about.
And as Jody mentioned, we have a very, very, very special guest coming in the studio. Well, you'll have to wait for that. All right,
let's get to our hot headlines. Let's do this. A bit of a relief that things are staying stable for now with regard to the Bank of Canada rate.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying it's time to bring the rate down, and a lot of people think that will happen in 2024, better than it going up. But a lot of people thought, well, if they just dropped it 50 basis points, that would be amazing. So no real relief.
No relief indeed for wow. I never thought I'd put up a tweet that would get hundreds of thousands of views, but when you talk about another big, deep cut in the broadcast industry, holy moly.
Yeah, you know what? CBC announced this week, you probably heard about it, that there were 200 vacant jobs. They're not going to fill them, and they're going to get rid of 600 other people at both the French and English services. And a lot of people were really mad when the CEO came out, and Adrienne Arsenault, who's amazing,
she's amazing,
asked her, okay, well, so what about the executive bonuses this Christmas? Are those going to be gone? And the CEO was like, swallowing her tongue.
We haven't talked about that yet. I can't talk about it until we talk about it, because it hasn't been talked about.
That's not hard to answer. How about just, no, we're not going to do any executive bonuses.
That's a thing. Let's talk about bail reform. This is a topic that keeps coming around. It keeps coming around. So Ottawa passes this long-awaited bail reform bill under the pressure that should be there from police and premiers.
Yeah, so what it does is it essentially puts reverse onus on violent offenders who maybe committed, crimes with weapons and what have you, that they have to prove why they should be allowed to have bail versus just getting it.
Common sense.
Yeah,
Common
we'll wait and see how that works.
Sense. We're getting a sense of if BC was to go to the polls. Wow.
This blew my mind when I saw this poll. Look at this. NDP in the lead, not a surprise, but look who's in second.
Yeah.
The Conservatives have usurped the BC United, so they're all scrambling. Just today, I saw interviews with John Rustad with the Conservatives saying, well, if, the BC United want to talk about getting together. And I thought, no, they're too far apart. They're both trying to carve out. They don't know what they want to be.
There's
BC
no love
United
lost between those two parties.
Trying to go to the middle, trying to go to the right. That's not where it's going.
Yeah, the NDP are giggling a little bit right now. Got an update. It took till Thursday morning, this morning, for the Assembly of First Nations to elect their new national chief. So Cindy Woodhouse is officially the new AFN national chief, another matriarch.
Hopefully no controversy there, like at Vancouver City Hall when the mayor announced, sort of in a weird kind of rollout, that he wanted to abolish the park board. And we'll talk about this in a second, but here's a little bit of a video that Mayor Ken Sim put out.
Vancouver is the only Canadian city with an elected park board. The structure hasn't worked for years. Under the elected park board, improvements to parks are tough to bring about, and investing in our parks and rec centers is difficult at best. That's why we're looking to remove this extra layer of red tape by allowing City Council to have direct oversight of our parks and rec centers. By not having an elected park board, we'll save millions of dollars a year. Not only are we making our parks and rec centers better, we're also reducing costs to taxpayers.
Every time the park board has come up over the last number of years, it's always come with the caveat that the park board is the only one of its kind in this country. I think there's only one other in the United States.
There's another one in BC too, actually. It came out yesterday. There is. Yeah, all the journalists were saying, oh, everybody says it's the only one. There's actually another one. It's a smaller
not in a major
No.
city. Okay, so a city like Vancouver, the Vancouver Charter comes into play so often. It comes into play, the Vancouver Charter. And Ken Sim, when he was running for mayor, said, I'm getting rid of the park board. And then he ran park board commissioners who then got in. It's become very contentious between the ABC park board commissioners who have now basically been fired by email, saying we're going to save the park board, and there's Ken Sim going.
And then he said we didn't fire them anyway.
We're going to the province.
I don't know what I think about it. I do think that there's a lot of dysfunction on the park board over the years. Fighting, you can't decamp something. Everybody's got a different idea. It seems like an extra layer of bureaucracy.
Exactly.
At the same time, I know people who've worked, served on the park board, and they were great people. So I don't know.
I agree with both of those things, and I think we should consider maybe at some point having a conversation as this soap opera continues to play out to get a little bit more insight from both sides of the argument for and against. Maybe both at the same time.
Because right now we're cutting down a gazillion trees in Stanley Park.
160,000 trees!
Right? People are going, what? What's going on?
Looper moths.
Because they've got the looper moth. This is the hemlock looper moth, that little rotten thing, and climate change and who knows what else.
They come out of chrysalis form in the springtime, so you got to get rid of them as they are dormant in the trees. 160,000. What that means, Stanley Park Causeway is going to be a nightmare as they try and move those trees.
Okay, so if you found $1,000 cash on the street, would you just say, woohoo, yay for me, and put it in your pocket, or would you phone the police or see
if there was
if
there was identification in it, I would immediately contact those people. I don't know that I would phone the police and say I just found money on the street.
No?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know.
I would assume it was probably something that was to do with a crime. However, there was a new survey that found
you would call the police?
I don't know. I think if it was outside of a store or something, I would try to get back to the right person.
Yeah. Because finders keepers, right? If nobody claims it,
you
get it?
So this new survey found that the farther west you go in Canada, the least honest people are. And in fact, in Surrey, the highest percentage of people, 55%, said, yeah, hell with that, I'm keeping it.
Well, we need it, because apparently we need to tip like we're kabillionaires.
That just makes me crazy. You know, we're all sick of how much we're tipping. Well, 30%?
No.
This is legit. 30% tip options are starting to show up on those crazy little machines.
That's dumb.
I would say that's a hard no for me.
Linda, people who say that those machines come programmed like that, that is garbage. My family worked, my brother and my stepdad together were in point of sale hardware and software.
You can customize it.
You can easily customize that. And there's no way you should be tipping 30%.
No, it's too much because they've already raised the prices.
Unless you're Taylor Swift.
Oh, Taylor Swift.
Then you can tip 30%.
Taylor Swift is Time's Person of the Year. And I think it's a brilliant choice because she's a billionaire. She is a female icon. She's an amazing artist. She writes her own stuff. She helps get young kids to register to vote. She does a million good things.
Yes.
And all the trolls and the dudes out there, ooh, I don't like Taylor Swift. Come on, and she's dating a really handsome NFL player.
I knew who was going to Travis Kelce. I worked in Ryan Reynolds into this conversation, so fair game, Linda Steele.
Yeah.
What's the word of the year?
Okay, this is the, you know, when they come out, the Oxford Dictionary or whatever. Yeah. It's rizz.
Yeah, my son uses this all the time.
Is charisma.
Yeah.
So if you've got rizz, then you're someone who's pretty, you know,
if you don't know what rizz is, you don't got it, is pretty much what they say. What do we got coming up on the show?
Well, transit ridership in Metro Vancouver has pretty much recovered post-pandemic, but there's financial trouble looming. TransLink CEO Kevin Quinn joins us next.
It's going to be fun. Looking forward to that. Speaking of fun, our viewing party. Hello, you're in on it. You're loving it. It's easy to get involved. Take a picture of yourself like Audrey did in Victoria.
We also have Kathy in Langley.
And Claire in Courtney. Hello there, Claire.
And also Gordon Sophie. Thank you so much for sending in pictures and watching the show.
Viewing party at CHEKmedia.ca. Send us pictures of you watching us right now. We'll be back in a moment. Right now, though, get healthy with ProMed Eye Health.